Hello, interwebs. I am not the Iron Man. I am Cardboard Man. My powers are useless against water. It's unfortunate. This is the F3G2's. I am tired. It was a long day at the work. But aside from cardboard, Iron Man helmets, I'm surrounded by the biggest stack of Ethan Van Sciver Cyber Frog prints you've ever seen. It's just a giant stack of them.
Okay.
Because, you know, Ethan Van Sciver, Cyber Frog, stuff happens.
Just random stuff surrounds you.
Yeah, you know, it's good to be the king. Secret Wars #2 was both good and weird, but good weird. This is everybody in the comic book universe. This is a chance to put their monies where their mouth is, and then walk around like this because they got money in their mouth. Or it's their chance to go, look, for everyone who's ever complained of event fatigue, Jonathan Hickman's writing on this doesn't feel like an event. And I honestly, my review of this is I have no idea what to make of it. In so much as I really liked the story. Some part of me feels like I should feel like, you know what, but this doesn't seem like a big event. This is just stuff happening.
It just doesn't feel grandiose.
But then at the same time, that makes it a better event. It's like when you watch an actor and you go like, you know, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio in almost everything. You can see him acting. You can see it happening. He mostly is Leo, and you can see when he goes for where he thinks he's being serious. But then every now and then he surprises you, where he either goes complete over the top like What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Say thank you, Gilbert. Say thank you. Or he just slips completely and frighteningly comfortably into the role of the arrogant asshole slave owner in Django Unchained. So this, I can't see it acting, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't seem like, hey, look, I'm writing in a big event. This is going to be an event, which is good. But at the same time, I'm used to dropping comments. I'm used to, it's like my students. My students eat crap, and I don't just mean they eat unhealthily. I mean, they eat food that's just, you know, like even when, you know, I like to eat unhealthily. Clearly. I like pizza. Pizza is my friend. They seem to think the greatest pizza place in the world is Pizza Hut. Like, this is like the most divine form of pizza. I'm like, no. You've eaten crap pizza for so long that you're now, usually when you eat good pizza, like, this isn't good. Because they expect it to taste like crap pizza. I think Jonathan Hickman has written such a good event, but I'm used to crap feeling like an event that I keep going through withdrawal of going, but this isn't what an event is supposed to be. But it's really, really good. The battle world is already, like, it doesn't jump in with a whole lot of, here's how the world, it gives you the origin of the world, but I'm willing to liken this to the first time I read Neil Gaiman's 1602 or whatever the hell that was. What number was it? 1602?
I think it was 1602.
Because it was just already, it's just, okay, and here's a whole different world. Go. So it was really good. Darth Vader is good for the Darth Vader moments. Kieran Gillen is beginning to Kieran Gillen himself. This supporting cast is completely wrong for Vader. Vader won't hang around. Vader doesn't go on a quest with the spunky girl, you know, Jane of all trades space pirate.
Sure he does. Somebody got to be the laser shield.
Along with I forget their names. They're silly names. 000 and BT. 000 is like the he's C-3PO. You know the mirror universe in Star Trek. They color him in black, but basically he's C-3PO with a goatee. And BT is R2 with a goatee. These are the evil C-3POs who, other than when they...
That's just fantastic.
It is?
It's a fantastic visual.
Oh, you know, on the one... Yeah, well, yeah, the visual then with the goatee. On the one hand, it's a great idea, except for they're literally written to be... it's just C-3PO and R2-D2 interaction and dialogue and whatever, except, you know...
Is he?
As written as like 90s comic book characters. You know, it's like Death 3PO and R2 Blood 2. Oh. You know, they just act exactly the same, but then every now and then it's like, oh, but I killed my former master. And, you know, instead of like, you know, whatever R2 would say that upsets 3PO, he's like, yes, you're right, we could probably kill these guys too. Yes, we get it, you're evil. But these seem more like, and 3 minutes into the trip, Vader goes, and they crush, and the spunky chick's neck snaps, and Vader goes, what the fuck? So, the Vader parts are great. These 3 characters would be great doing anything but hanging around with Vader. Thor, the big reveal. You already know it. She's not... They said don't call her She-Thor, don't call her... Well, now we can call her Jane Thorster. Because it's Jane Foster.
I'm still going with Lady Thor.
Thorster. And it's good. Kind of like Odin's son this way. A little weird just hanging out with his mom all the time with no shirt on. But, you know, him, not his mom. There's a line in here that intrigued me more than the reveal, alright? Cancerous Jane Foster doesn't want anyone to know that it's her because they'll try and stop her from being Thor because the power is killing her, but she's determined to be a hero until she dies. Which at the very least means there's a potential day where the hammer can go, okay, well...
Burn this one out.
You know... Because one of the best things about Secret Wars was the cops that patrol between the different kingdoms. It's not like the kingdoms are unaware of each other. It's not like the DC Convergence world, where all the worlds have been under domes and separate. They're all just different countries. So, like, 2099 is like a country next to Avalon, which is like the Captain Britain country, next to, the Squadron Supreme world and the world ruled by Doctor Doom. And Doctor Doom is considered the god. He built this. Because I guess he, whatever he was doing in the end, he kind of got beyond his powers and he did it. But,
sure, why not?
But in that, the Thor Corps are literally like the Green Lanterns. They just have a bunch of these hammers. People from different worlds get to come and have like an Excalibur test of can you pick it up. And if you pick it up, boom, you transform and you become a Thor. And you're like the cops of the world. And then they do like a Thor and Order, Law and Thorder, with, Doctor Strange is like the judge.
I want to see this as a Robot Chicken skit now.
It's great. It's great. But there was a scene in here that intrigued me because Odin's been being a dick, which, is all natural for Odin. But there's a scene in which, after it's all said and done, Odin kind of looks annoyed at Frasier, Frigga, or whichever they're calling her these days, and goes, curse you, woman, damn you, woman, for making me be the bad guy here, which makes me suspect there's more to why he's trying to do what he's doing. Or maybe he is just a dick, but maybe he is just a dick who thinks there's more to do. Whatever it is, everyone's the hero of their own story. Copperhead, number 7. This was so good. It's Boo, Deputy Boo. He's got some woes. But, he's on the cover to the next one, so that's good. This is such a great story. You need to read this. This is like a Western mystery, sci-fi. This is what you really wanted. The hell is that show on Sci-Fi that people kept trying to convince me was good, but every time I watched it, it hurt me. It physically hurt me. Haven something? No.
Haven was a small town in New England.
Okay, that's not the one. What's the one that's like a sci-fi western?
Defiance?
That's the one. Defiance. That show hurt physically. It hurt. It was painful to watch. It was the television equivalent of just taking a meat tenderizer and going whack to my nads, whack to my nads. The show was painful. It was painful. Also, it was painful. This is what that show really wanted to be. This is what that show wanted to be. This is freaking can't come up with a good sci-fi analogy for the end. I had a western one. Whatever. This is the good one. Read this. It's so good. Captain Marvel. So good. Makes me sad this is the kind of end before the Secret Wars. Such a good issue. It was filled with the feels. Oh, the feels. Even the letters page afterwards is there's an assault of feels from Kelly Sue DeConnick about her late aunt, also known as Aunt Polly, the leggy blonde in front. She has a leggy blonde. Aunt Polly is not only a good analog for Captain Marvel's, for Carol's late mentor. She's also a good stand-in back then, anyway, for Carol herself. So it's like very robberous. But this is so good. If you haven't been reading Kelly Sue DeConnick's Captain Marvel, you suck. There's no other reason. It's not just a preference, a taste thing. You clearly must suck as a human being because it is the greatest book, and you're not allowed to not like it. Convergence number 6. It's Convergency. Our heroes show up. They're confused. They meet the Earth 2 heroes and various of the other heroes. Things you never expected to see. The New 52 Earth 2 Flash meets 90s Superboy. And Crisis on Infinite Earths Barry Allen.
Ooh.
And yet another Flash. Hey pal, are you alright? I'm not sure. Last thing I remember, I was staring Psycho Pirate in the face. Then I wound up here. This is him right before he dies. It's going to be a sucky day when this is over. But Dick Grayson is told by real Superman that you're actually the Superman's like, look, real Superman, like undies on the outside Superman is like, look, Dick, if you're anything like the Dick I know, you're going to figure all this out. You are the hero. They say I'm the inspiration, but you're the one we look to. Because in that era, in post-New 52, in like not Crisis on Infinite Earths, in like Infinite Crisis era and post-Infinite Crisis era DC, Superman was the hero that inspired all the people, but Dick Grayson was the inspiration for all the other heroes. All the heroes were, when they were like, oh man, this is going to suck, what do we do? They'd all turn. Batman's like, I have a plan. Like, shh. We know you have a good plan.
We're going to listen in.
Right now we need motivation. We need inspiration.
Dick.
And Dick's like, we can do this. And they're like, yay! And Batman's like, I hate all it. It's weird to me. Convergent Superboy. In order to win, our boy has to lose. And that's hard to swallow. This is so... Fabian Nicieza has done a great job. This is so well written. So well written. And... the only thing better than the way it's written is the way it's drawn, because Carl Moline is a god, the kind of god that that I would worship in the physical sense. And Jose Marlon Jr. does his best job ever of inking over Carl Moline's. I could call him Carl. Fuck it. Over Carl's art. And I say this because he's inked over him a bunch of times, and sometimes it's been a little heavy. This time he's really gotten. I think they're a good pair. He's kind of, you can. Carl has a very distinct line stroke in kind of the. Even when Carl uses a pencil and I'm sitting next to him watching him use a pencil, he makes it look like it's a paintbrush line. He doesn't even know he's doing it. which kind of makes me want to punch him.
But you love
Because he's
it.
just like, and then he'll draw this amazing thing and go, oh, I feel like I rushed it. This sucks. And then I want to strangle him and then punch him. But his lines come out looking painted, and that's tricky to recapture in the ink, because even if you brush over it, a brush stroke isn't an exact thing. So it's hard to make, to follow it so that it looks the same. And that's what gives Carl's art a lot of its life. And Mr. Marzian Jr. did really well with it in this issue. You can see a lot of the Carl, and that's good. We like to see a lot of the Carl. Yay! Justice League International #2, like 2 blue beetles for the price of 1, and none of them are named Jaime. So get Jaime, even though you're in something else. But I don't remember why.
Moving on.
Don't remember why. Within something. Space. Might have been this. That was one of the weird things. Let's go backwards. Does this have the Red Lanterns show up? One of these books has like the Red Lanterns show up with Superman. I don't remember what the heck it was, but it was confusing. I think it was this. I want to say it was this. But what was confusing about it is, one, this is supposed to be taking place now, but apparently nobody told anyone involved that most of the Red Lanterns are dead, because all the dead Red Lanterns are here, and they're not displaced from. Yeah. Look, he's dead. He's dead. Totally dead. And yet there he is going, hi, and nobody seems confused by that. And look, there's Jaime. That's all he does, is he goes, I'm here and useless. We should have a real Blue Beetle to save the day. And we do. We get 2 of them. We get the JLI era Ted Cord, and he teams up with himself, because the only ones level-headed enough to take on some of the bad guys instead of this whole fight each other thing are Ted and Ted. So it's Ted in the crazy armor from Kingdom Come and Ted. They kind of have a joke off, which is fun. Our Ted saves that Ted. It's all a good time. And then he goes back and look, there's a sploosh. And it turns out the whole thing takes place on Ted's birthday, because both Teds were saying, you know what day it is? Like, how can I forget? So it's both Ted's birthdays. But when Ted gets back, there's a note. He gets water dumped on him and confetti, and it says, to Blue Beetle, Dear Ted, sorry I couldn't be there today. With everything that's happening, I have to be in too many places at once. Literally. Because Booster's time traveling through all of the damn cities. But I didn't want you to think I'd forgotten what today is. The handy thing about time travel is you can pop in for a quick visit when nobody's looking. So, happy birthday, Ted. Hope it's a great one despite the circumstances. I know things are pretty tough right now, but I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. Anyway, I just wanted you to know I'm thinking about you, buddy. That's what friends are for, right? Your pal, Booster. Yay. And then following that is a preview of the Divergent post. No, after Divergence, we've got Justice League 2001. And even though it doesn't have them in this little teaser, and it does introduce a female Green Lantern named Guy in the future. This is my boys are there, so they get I don't know when they're going to meet within the regular thing, but we know that at the very, if nothing else, they'll give us that. So, happiness. Convergence Aquaman #2 is still one of my favorite of the Convergence books. Tony Bedard just writes a really, really good Aquaman. And he's a thinking Aquaman. And it's Aquaman versus Deathblow. And the backup makes me think I may not be reading Dr. Fate, the new Dr. Fate, as long as I thought. But the Green Lantern, the Aquaman book, is just really good. He's a thinking Aquaman. He's got this team of people. I can't stress enough. I just really liked Aquaman. Convergence, Supergirl, Matrix #2, complete with the Matrix, Supergirl, and Ambush Bug. Ambush Bug keeps telling her that she smells like spackle because she's made of like that protoplasm. There's a guy in here who looks sort of like you took Spider-Man, Blue Beetle, 90s Superboy, and just put them all in a blender and came out with Louse Man, who was bitten by a radioactive louse and now has the powers of lice, really. And he's just kind of chilling in his world. But this was really good. It's everything you'd expect. And you get to watch just Matrix Supergirl beat the crap out of the rather abusive father figure that is Lex Luthor. Red-haired, beard heaven Lex Luthor. And Ambush Bug's kind of a jerk. And it's good. Ambush Bug only doesn't know exactly what's going on anymore, because the only reason Ambush Bug used to know it is he didn't just break the fourth wall, setting the stage for Deadpool. Before there was Deadpool, there was Ambush Bug. But Ambush Bug actually read the comics, and that's why he knew what was going on. And he's like, I haven't read comics in a while, so I don't know what's happening. Green Lantern Parallax, this was good. Number 2, Morbid Dard. Hal still determined to do the right thing in all the wrong ways, and Kyle still proving why one day he would be the heart, soul, and nicest Green Lantern you've ever met. Suicide Squad, Convergence, Suicide Squad. The best thing about Convergence, Suicide Squad is we got the realest Amanda Waller in the history of Amanda Waller. So good, so good, so good, so good, so good. And they definitely live up to the name Suicide Squad this time around. Literally. Savage Dragon is so much fun. Savage Dragon is just fun. You should read Savage Dragon. Things are building up with Dart and her little evil empire. Killcat and Kid Avenger are, well, they're Killcat and Kid Avenger. That's really all you need to know. It's just great. There are a few books where they always say, like, oh, you can actually read and feel the sense of enjoyment and love for this that the creator has. But yeah, you can just feel it's like falling into Eric Larson's head and just riding it out. That's what it's like. Captain America and the Mighty Avengers, number 8, kind of wraps it up for Secret Wars, or begins the rapification. Has a little sad goodbye for her Chimpy. He's be sad. Monica Rambeau sets herself up to be like, even more than the Civil War, I don't think the heroes are going to be friends post this. They're going to be little factions of heroes. Because, when the Illuminati goes, yeah, we tried to kill some more other Earths so that our Earth would survive. Didn't work anyway, so we're literally genocidal maniacs for no reason. Yeah, basically you have to accept the fact that Reed Richards, Doctor Strange, Black Panther,
Tony,
Iron Man,
and Black Bolt.
Yeah, they're all just like, fuck it, let's just kill everybody. Let's just kill whole worlds. Because they're called alternate realities for a reason. They're not real realities. Even though, unlike the DC universe, which is bold enough to call its main universe, they either call it the DCU, the new DCU, or Earth 1, Earth Prime, Earth, Marvel's like, oh, well, wait, we're the main Earth. No, we're not. What are they? We're Earth 616? That doesn't sound like one. There's 615 Earths ahead of us. Oh, shit. Screw up.
Yeah, we matter.
Saga number 28. How did it get to 28 already? It seems like I was just reading number 1 the other day. You would believe that a weird kind of tree witch drug peddler can be a hero. You will believe that there is nothing more adorable than a baby fur seal warrior in overalls.
Goose.
You will have a hard time figuring out which characters you're supposed to be rooting for and against, as there are a lot of there are no solid lines of good and bad in here. There are lots of realistic, blurry lines, and that's hard for the brain to accept sometimes. Spider-Man 2099, his girlfriend gets turned temporarily into a spider-wasp person.
Yeah.
So she's a wasp that eats spiders. That's not great for him. That's not great for him. It's Peter David writing Spider-Man 2099. What review do you need? Ms. Marvel, number 15. Ms. Marvel continues to be one of the finest, best, funnest, funniest, most inspirational comic books out there today. Not just limited to Marvel, just out there today. This is a great book. G. Willow Wilson, I salute you. Takeshi Miyazawa, I salute you as well. Ian Herring, I love your name. And I salute you.
Words. Words. I'm too tired for this.
Sixth Gun, Dust to Dust, number 3. Final in this series. It's one thing that Bill John O'Henry doesn't get a happy ending. He doesn't get a happy beginning or middle either.
Damn.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the one based on the cartoon that's not out yet, is actually really good. I buy these for Bella, but I read this one because I forgot to take it out of my bag, so it was in there with my reviews, and it was really good. And one of the stories in here, there's 2 stories. One of them, it looks like it's done more in a style that screams like, looks like still shots from animation. You get the spin-off of the movie verse, not actual movie verse, but like inspired by the movie verse, cartoon verse origin of Rocket and Groot. And that's pretty good. Mythic by Phil Hester and John McCree. Wasn't sure what to expect of this. Ordered it because Phil Hester and John McCree. The idea is magic is real. All the mythical creatures are real. Science is just something we tell ourselves to comfort ourselves. Most people can't deal with magic, so they don't believe in it, they don't expect it, they don't whatever. There's a team of people who have to clean up after, like, trolls came out and fought. So they do all the cleanup and take away all the evidence and get rid of that. This is that group. They're called Mythic. I forget what exactly they're phrased as. You get their business card like pretty early on, so let's see. Mythic Lore Services, and in the beginning we see them recruit their youngest member, and then they go off to Yellowstone, where it turns out there's been a drought, and the drought is like Yellowstone or Yosemite, I forget where the heck they end up, but the drought is caused because Mother Mountain and Father Sky haven't humped in a while. And Mother Mountain is holding out because Father Sky is a little promiscuous and has been sleeping with other mountains.
Oh, of course.
So they have to try and their plan is that one of them is going to try and seduce the mountain so that the sky will get jealous and come down. It's
I just love that concept. That's
it's so
fantastic.
good that is a thing that happened. So you should read this. Mantle. Another thing that I was like, I ordered that? What the hell is it? The Mantle by Ed Brisson, Brian Level,
You've
and
been
Jordan
reading
Boyd.
that, haven't you?
The idea is, it's like a legacy power. And there's this page of all the different people who've had it recently. And there's one that looks like Captain America, Captain America and Superman. One that looks more Superman-ish, but actually because of the way the symbol is, he looks more why am I blanking on what his name was? The Plutonian from Irredeemable. There's one that looks kind of Captain Marvel-ish. There's one that looks Luke Cage. you know, you got the girl one, you got a sort of, I don't know, generic one, you got a guy getting punched. Every time he dies, the power goes to someone else. It's the mantle. The mantle goes to you. You get the powers, basically whatever power you can imagine. There's this group that follows the mantle around, trying to train the new people because there's a guy called Plague. And Plague just basically seems to go around killing the mantle as it shows up. We get the first and last look at the guy who gets it in the beginning of this issue. He does pretty well for a bit, but then doesn't. But we've already got our new... A guy and his girlfriend are just drugged out of their minds when suddenly the one guy gets the mantle. Then they get into all of this. He tries to save his girlfriend. He teams up with the other people. Doesn't go well. By the end of it, they're like, oh crap, what do we do? And then his girlfriend, the power goes to his girlfriend. They're like, that's never, doesn't make that shit. So now we've got someone already set for revenge. And it was so just good. The art is great. The story is great. It was good. It was good. I thought it was going to be just another one of those. Someone gets the power and has to learn. But the angle, the slant, they did what you're supposed to do. They took something old, dusted it off, shaped it a little, and made something new. It was well done, well done. Magneto fully embraces the fact that in order to be a hero, sometimes you have to be a genocidal douchebag. He would have been a great member of the Illuminati because he would have just, he's like, look, the rest of you guys, this is compromising some of your actual. For me,
it's Tuesday.
He's like, yeah, I spent the whole time going, I wanted humans to, to be subservient or dead so that mutants could rule the world. So I was already set on a genocidal attack. I can kill a whole planet to save our planet. Killing somebody else to save my people is kind of my thing. I got this. Howard the Duck #3 is so good. Still not classic Howard good, but so good. There seems to be a running thing of Spider-Man being so terrified of his abject failure that amuses me, but could grow old quickly. You've got Ringmaster. This one actually felt, out of the 3 issues that have been so far, this one felt the most like an old Howard the Duck story. The Ringmaster shows up, but all he's doing lately, his circus of crime was condemned because circus issues. People protested the treatment of animals, all this stuff. So he's got no circus. So now he sits around and basically the easiest people for him to hypnotize are seniors. So he just hypnotizes old people and makes them commit crimes and then bring him back the stuff, and they don't remember any of it. So last issue, Howard the Duck was mugged for the necklace he's been searching for his first and only client so far. But the person who mugged him at gunpoint was Aunt May. It was May Parker Jameson, who held him up. So now you've got Howard, you've got his little detective assistant, and you've got May Parker teaming up to try and right these wrongs. Also, it does ask the question, you've got Howard the Duck, and it talks about how last issue he met up with Rocket Raccoon. He says, I guess talking animals have to say what animal they are in their name, because Howard the Duck is Howard the Duck, Rocket Raccoon is Rocket Raccoon. It's
Groot. I am Groot. Close enough.
Harrow County, more Cullen Bunn. This is good. This is creepy good. This is, a witch was killed. But killing a witch ain't so easy, and her spookiness carries on into the town, and it's like this kind of watercolor painted art, just really gorgeous. Who did the art on this? It's Tyler Crook. So Cullen Bunn and Tyler Crook, and it gets a write-up from Mike Mignola, so that means it's good. A rare thing, both wonderfully charming and genuinely disturbing, Mike Mignola. If you can charm and disturb Mike Mignola, you done well.
Mm-hmm.
You done well. Cullen Bunn, I salute you. So this is great. You should check this out. Lots of fun. And finally, Dave. Not my cameraman. Dave the robot. This book is so good. This book is the modern day heir to Scud, Disposable Assassin. Earth was wiped out. Humans were wiped out by machines. Robots even now have taken over the machine, the human-esque aspects. But as a result, robots have stopped developing. They've stopped growing, and they all just fit into their tasks are. Our one hero, Dave, was once used to fight all these wars and destroy aliens that were trying to take over the world. but now everything's at peace. But now these new aliens show up, and no one is equipped to handle it, and it's all up to Dave. But Dave now has a chronically masturbating robotic son, an estranged wife, a sister-in-law that hates him, and he's actually going through some very human character growth as he comes to terms with who he is and what his purpose is. It's weird that it's such a human story of self-discovery done in a
Genocidal machine?
in a rather humorous sci-fi robot book. It's I don't know. It's great. Just check it out. If you don't buy the trade when it comes out, that'll be awesome. And hey, there's no more books on my take from pile. So I'll see you next week. Actually, I won't. Listen to me.